Good evening, everybody. As everybody knows, there's been a lot going on since the 2024 election. Ever since then, a lot of things have been going on with President Trump. Now, based off of recent polls, I'm going to be showing you what would happen if the election was tomorrow, let's say. Which it is not, but this is also just in generality, kind of how I think states are going to go for the next election. Based off of more recent polls. As always, like and subscribe, and let's get into it. First off, let's start with all the most important states, the big states. We already know California is going to be going blue, by a large margin. However, in New York, I cannot say the same for. As of recently, New York has began to lean more Republican, and has actually leaned more only lean instead of hard blue. Now, the states at the bottom, for instance, Texas, still leaning in at a safe lean, and same thing with Florida. Now, let's get into some of the other states. Now, of course, Illinois is going to still be dark blue, of course, because of Chicago. For that matter, so will the red states, except for, of course, Massachusetts will be going dark blue, while the other states will be kind of just leaning in. Of course, Maine will be as well. Sorry, I mean, the other one. I'm not sure what the hell I'm doing right now. Sorry. However, here's some good news for the Republicans. Alaska will be going Republican. Hawaii will be going Democrat. But Washington and Oregon will be, sorry, not that little. It will be like lean blue. Obviously, states like Missouri, Kansas, and of course, states like Kentucky and Tennessee will be going light red. Sorry, I'm not really sure why I'm messing up right now. It's a little bit weird. Anyway, so let's keep going into it. With Minnesota still, of course, being lean, but not dark blue, but, pretty close. Of course, we can't leave it on 6-7 because everybody knows what the comments are going to say. But I have good news. DC, Maryland, Delaware, and New Jersey. However, New Jersey will be extremely light blue, leading the Democrats at 198 to 108 so far. I mean, 197 to 108, sorry. Okay, now let's get into some good news for the Republicans. Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming, Utah, the state Charlie Kirk was shot in, Iowa, Nebraska at large, Nebraska's 1st district, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Indiana, and West Virginia, and also Ohio will be going red. Now, some news for the Democrats. States like Virginia will be going light blue. The Republicans will be able to take the north side of Maine. Now, of course, the Democrats will be taking Nebraska's 2nd district. Now, this leads us to a problem. The problem is they're extremely close in score, 211 to 219. These states will decide the winner. Of course, New Mexico and Colorado will not exactly be dark blue, but definitely somewhere in the middle. Now, of course, it's going to be kind of the same as, unfortunately, last year, I mean, not last year, but last election, in some circumstances, where North Carolina is going to be barely red. Same thing with Georgia. Now, Nevada, I am predicting, is going to go dark blue. I also am predicting that Minnesota, Wisconsin, it's gonna be blue, but states like Arizona will also be light blue, and Pennsylvania. For all you who are commenting out there saying, but Matthew, what if that doesn't happen? Also, I've been getting comments recently on my videos, even years later, that are just like, this person's just a MAGA Karen. I'll have you know that I actually do not like Trump after some of the things that have been going on, so put your mind to rest. And even if that was true, I'm not even old enough to vote, so get a grip, Karen. Basically, in a nutshell, what if something weird happened? What if states start to, I don't know, act a little bit different? We already know the states. Like over here, I'm just going to use blue and red for this example. Let's say all of Maine, all of the West Coast, except for parts of it, that is, going up to Virginia, all the East Coast. I mixed up the West and East Coast again. Hawaii, meanwhile, Republican is Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia, the usual suspects. Now, of course, by the time you get to here, shit. Okay. We're in this position again. If it goes how it was for the 2020 election, it's going to be an awfully close election. Of course, it's not going to be the exact as the 2020 election, of course. And there's going to be a new Republican candidate, I'm hoping. But I have a feeling that Trump will just not be able to win, or, sorry, not just Trump, but any Republican will not be able to win Nevada. Nevada is simply too much of a Democratic state and leaning fourth now. And, of course, I have a feeling that Trump's, or whoever the Republican candidate, will barely be able to win Arizona, but definitely not Pennsylvania if states start acting a little bit different. Here's a better question. Some people have asked me a quick question. Is it possible to, for instance, I don't know, just win based off of one specific region? You could try. Let's say that any Democrat candidate wins all of this region. If they even entirely win the entirety of this district, yes, they will manage to get all the votes needed and then some. But we all know that that's just not going to happen. There's no way that Democrat candidates can win all of everything on the East Coast and then lose everything. Even if they only win everything on the East Coast, they will not have enough. If they also win everything on the West Coast, they will have barely enough. But, because of how states act, I have a feeling that it's still going to be rural states will always be red. Almost always. With the exception of Illinois, of course. Even if all of the North and East states that were already voted Democrat. Even if. Remember this. Trump is, or whoever these Republican candidate is winning because of these small rural states. Even if the map doesn't specifically show it, it seems like it's losing, and then at the last second, bam, he ends up winning. Or they end up winning, or whoever. But you get the point. The point is, the Electoral College is fucked. So let's get rid of it. Sorry, that's a very unpopular opinion. Now, of course, these two will be red, these two will be blue. Again, we're just going back to the same two again. Trump wins them, congratulations. Or Republicans win that, they win the election. Democrats win these, they win the election. Very, very simple. I hope that cleared up a few issues. If it didn't, well, just like and subscribe anyway, because I'm going to be coming out with more content. Shout out to some of my new followers, including Gabriel13 for subscribing. And yes, it's a Minecraft channel, but still, I don't really care. Because I am shouting out people that are subscribing to me because I need more views and more likes. So, bye-bye.